Hey there, Ogu Pigu. Brendan, hi. Brendan came up to me while I was reading in the living room. What's that book about? It's something for my literature class. It's about the author's experience in Rhodesia, Zimbabwe. I hope Ogu Pigu doesn't think that Rhodesia is in Zimbabwe. That's the way that was phrased. Oh, God. Sounds interesting. I'm going to assume it's not, and it's an unfortunate way of phrasing it. He didn't look interested at all. I chuckled and continued reading. Well, that's good. I glanced up at him. Yeah, he didn't say anything else, so I went back to the book. He does not fucking know what Rhodesia or Zimbabwe is. Yep, pretty great. I looked up again. Is that something you need? Were you wanting to talk? No, of course not. I'm gonna go then. Oh, okay. Did I offend him or something? See you, Ogu Pigu. Goodbye. Off he went. I set the book down next to me, no longer feeling like reading. Did I do something wrong, or what was that about? I don't know, I think he's just a bit of a weirdo. He wants to put his sexual prowess on you. Today I got back my first paper from my literature class, covered in red marks, apparently, even though they knew I was American. I was expected to use British spelling at all times. I mean... oh god, my cough is awful. Could there really be that many different American and English spelling? There's using the word Z. For example, Americanized is spelled with a Z, but S in American, I'm pretty sure. But... so they use S's and we use Z's, but... and then there's like color and so on. But... really? And then that many that the teacher's just like, no, it's all useless to me. This is in American. Oh! When we're supposed to be joined by a common language, well, I mean, yes and no. There's no denying it isn't. There's no denying it is different. I would have to reset the spell check on my laptop to remind me about all these extra U's and words. Well, it was all part of the English experience, I supposed. Why is experienced capitalized? I just have to get used to it. This game is going to go very quickly if there are a bunch of small scenes like that. Absolutely exhausted, I decided to head down to the Crafty Crown after work. A nice drink and some time off my feet sounded great. You can do that at home, it's called sitting down. I sat down on one of the high bar chairs and scanned the counter, unsure of exactly what to do. It was my first time being served at a real actual bar. I'd been into restaurants with bars in them, and even snuck into a few nightclubs here and there, but I'd never actually ordered myself a drink. What? It's not difficult. Hey there, sorry, what beers do you have? Oh, we have, a Heineken, San Miguel, or we have, Estrella. It's like, okay, cool, I'll have the San Miguel then. Small or large? A pint. There you go. That was difficult, wasn't it? Oh, what was that? Oh yeah, I'll have a vodka and coke, please. That was also very difficult. Was I supposed to call a bartender to me, or no? No. You're at the bar. It's different at the bar. They come to you. If you're sitting at a table, then they come to you. But no, I guess you can ask for someone or try and catch someone's eye, but at the bar, you just wait for them to come to you. It's rather contradictory what I'm saying, I am realising this. Hello there. Brendan appeared before me, an easy smile on his face and a glint in his eye. Oh, hello, I forgot that you work here. Indeed I do, and how may I help such a lovely lady? My face grew hot. I would like a drink, please, an alcoholic drink. Oh, fade me, an alcoholic drink. I am an adult. Run adult.exe. He smirked. Alright, what kind of drink? Vodka cranberry? At a loss for the kinds of drinks they actually served in bars, I asked for the first thing that came to mind. I mean, that's not... they do that. That's a thing they'll do. Well, the first thing that wasn't too embarrassing to say out loud was the cocktail names that had reached me through cultural osmosis had ridiculous titles like Sex on the Beach. No way could I order that from him. We're like 12. We can't say the word sex in front of people. Great. Brendan nodded at my order and started preparing the drink, which I assumed meant it wasn't too strange of a choice. You planning on partying a lot while you're here? Well, I've been here for a month and I haven't done anything, so no, not really. I guess? I haven't really thought very much about what I'm going to do while I'm here. How old are you? I looked away. It was legal for me to drink while I was in England, I was pretty sure, but I still felt like I was doing something wrong. 19. He paused, looking at me with surprise. Not old enough to drink back home, eh? No, is that a problem? What? Yeah, right, that's it! Call the American government and say that someone is illegally drinking! Ooh! Brenda took a glance down at the bar, then leaned forward and whispered into my ear. To be honest, I'm only 20. He pulled away and gave me a wink. So how about we just keep this a secret between the both of us? I won't tell if you won't. I grinned. Deal! But how did you end up being a bartender? Don't you have to pass a test or something usually? What? What? No, it's just bar work. Near a university and campus and hostel, presumably. Yeah. Well, I'm still new to the craft, so I hope you don't mind that I'll probably mess up a ton. It's vodka cranberry. What, are you going to piss in it? How can you mess up a vodka cranberry? It's cranberry juice and vodka. Ta-da! Oh, it's no problem. Here's your drink, by the way. Sorry, it took a bit. I was distracted. He was looking at me intensely, and I suddenly felt like I was next in line for a roller coaster. It's no problem. He smiled again. It was still relatively early, so there weren't many other customers to serve, and it seemed like Ashley had them covered. Instead, he set his elbows on the counter. So where exactly are you from? And there are probably other customers here. I mean, we can see that there aren't, but, you know, why ever draw in people, am I right? So, like, you should probably go serve them. So where exactly are you from? The Bronx, New York. Whoa, got a big city girl, don't we? And what set you off on this journey? A big city girl? We're in London! What? I mean, unless this dude is just like, I don't know, he just grew up in Coventry or something. Oh, I just wanted to, you know, experience new horizons. I hesitated. Brendan was looking at me with such openness, I felt like I could trust him. Oh, awful idea. It was a little embarrassing explaining what really brought me here, but since coming, it had been constantly on my mind. Might as well get it off my chest. To be honest, I don't really have much of an idea what I want to do in life. That's right, pour your heart out to a stranger. I'd never been to another country. I'd never been out of the Northeast before. Trust me, with that sort of attitude in England, you'd just be stuck in Newcastle, and that's a fate worse than death. I figured getting out and seeing a world a bit might help me decide. It's no good living in a bubble. I guess going from one big city to another isn't that much different, but at least there are people here from more parts of the world. He nodded, satisfied. I'm from Miami myself. Oh, he's from America. Right, I forgot about that. What? Hang on. Oh, a big city girl. Where are you from? Miami? What? Miami is also a big city, isn't it? I'm fairly certain that Miami is a big city. Hold the fucking horses here. Miami, population. I refuse to believe that there is a small bit. Yeah, okay, well, there's only 430,000 people there. That's not as much as I thought. It's still a fairly big fucking city. Whatever. We're both East Coasters, even if you're way up in the north. It's not so different. I figured Miami was more like California, or beaches and blondes in swimsuits. Well, we still have hot babes in swimsuits, a way to endear yourself to the women, but we have a lot more old people. A lot of people retire in Miami, a lot of people also sell drugs, but that's the same in any big city. So you won't mind if I tell you I do too? Do you want any? What? I'm joking, calm down. You're pretty gullible, aren't you? Yeah, you don't normally go around doing it like that. Hello, I'm a drug dealer. Would you like me to sell you some drugs? No? He picked a cloth up from the counter and began to fold it, stopping when it became too small to continue or starting over again. You should be careful, you know. You don't know what kind of people there are here in England. Can't let your defences down, but I'm sure living in New York taught you that. Maybe, but I'm sure I'll be fine. If you ever need any help, you can come to me. I'll be sure to protect you. Protect a girl as cute as you. Oh, fuck you. Thank you, that's sweet. Mate, it's about as sweet as sticking salt in Coke. Shouldn't you want to protect anyone who needed it, not just the cute girls? I know it was just a compliment, but... got a sassy one here, I like that. Was that supposed to be a compliment too? It was as much of a compliment as someone saying you're cute when you're angry. I don't need to be protected. I can take care of myself. I've handled my share of creeps. He nodded. Okay, I didn't really want this sort of... I don't need no help sort of attitude. I just wanted to be like, fuck off. You do seem like you're a pretty strong girl. I didn't make it to 19 by trusting everybody, I see. Oh. I didn't make it to the old age of 19. Whoa! God, how do you make it to such an elder age with such sagely wisdom? Like, yeah, God. A good lesson to learn. By the way, how's the drink? I glanced at the cup in my hands. I was so busy talking with Brenda that I forgot to even drink any. I quickly took a sip. Ew! It's really strong! Is that bad? Sorry, I told you I'm not very good at this. Ha! Strong drinks in England! Ha! 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 Mate, I don't even know the meaning of the word. Practice makes perfect. It's not good. Maybe the next one will be better. Oh! Fuck that. I thought she meant that if I keep drinking it, I'll get used to the strong taste. No, maybe it's supposed to taste this way. Well, I'm not an experienced drinker after all. You're sweet. It wasn't such a bad thing if a cute guy wanted to get me a little bit drunk, was it? I mean... He glanced past me, then flipped the cloth over his shoulder. Looks like I've got some customers to serve. I guess I'll see you around? I'm sure you will. We lived in the same building after all. Great, see you later. He walked off to intercept a couple that had just come in. They appeared to enjoy the view, but those poor people had no idea what they were in for. Thought that was a poverty statement for a minute. I had to reflect on what I said. Oggy Pigu, go to room 633. There's a problem and the guests need someone to look at it. I nodded. Angelo shook his head warningly at me, but there was nothing I could do. I went off to the room. When I got there, I noticed it had a do not disturb sign on the knock. Should I go downstairs and double check the room number? On the other hand, people often forgot that they put the sign up, and if they'd specifically called to the front desk for help, it might be more important to hurry. So I knocked. I knocked again harder. Excuse me, you asked for room service? The door flew open and a half-naked man stood in the doorway. Please stop or I'll call your manager. We're busy, and we specifically asked not to be bothered. He slammed the door in my face. Thanks, Sassy. I mean, there is without a shadow of a doubt she would definitely be fired in most other jobs. Yeah, as time passed, work at the hotel slowly got easier. It was still difficult dealing with Arcee and navigating the myriad of challenges she threw at me, clearly intending to make me lose my job. But Angela and I got on well, and I began to pick up the skills necessary for swift and efficient cleaning, across spreadsheets, spotless dusting. I was even beginning to pick up a distaste for the way I'd always lived. I didn't like to look at my hostel room and see the same sort of mess a guest might leave for me. Yeah, but that's your room. Fuck the haters, yo! No, I can't pull that off convincingly. After this job, my house would never look sloppy again. Ha! I chuckled to myself knowing that that's not true. It's easy to say you're going to do something when you're not currently doing it. Angelo had gone ahead into the bathroom. I bent to lift the bucket of mop water off the cart. Okay, Piggy. He hurried over to me, frowning. You should not be lifting that. It is too heavy for you. Leave the bathrooms to me. I wanted to protest that I wasn't fragile, but maybe he had a point. It was a lot easier if I left the harder work to him. I mean, the heavy lifting, sure, but whatever. Let's not even go there. In early February, Danny's soccer team had their first match. He formally invited the entire hostel to come see if they wanted, but let everyone know he wouldn't hold it against them if they didn't show up. Not surprisingly, not everyone wanted to go. Yeah, something tells me the artists, like, football isn't too high up on her list of things to go and see. In the end, Ashley, Peggy and I walked to the park together, tiny flags in our hands. Ashley was such a nice girl that she couldn't possibly turn down the invitation, but Peggy seemed particularly excited about cheering for Danny. I knew Peggy and Danny were good friends, but seeing the way they interacted... Why would you be jealous of them? What, because they got to talk with one another? I wondered if there was more than that. I hadn't seen any signs of a real romance blossoming, but I hadn't asked them either. It seemed like everyone in this hostel was young and single. It would only make sense if some of us paired off. Well, if they did end up dating, I would hope they'd be happy together. They should be. Danny was practically perfect. He was smart, attractive, well organised. He was constantly helping out around the hostel and looking after everyone. This is where he secretly has a very dark, history. When I was 17, I murdered 3 people. That might actually be true. I shouldn't joke about it. Woo, go Danny! Oh yeah, look at this football match happening in front of us next to the lake with no football teams. Danny, now dashing out onto the field for the first time, looked into the stands and saw us. He beamed and Peggy waved frantically back. I held up a hand and smiled, and then he was in, focused on the game. I took some pictures on my phone, thinking they might be useful at some point in the future. His team won the game, as was expected. Danny the flawless. So flawless, it was almost suspicious. I suppose it isn't fair to be suspicious of him just because he's a great person. There have to be some people like him in the world. Pardon, did you say something? Nope. We crossed to the end of the field to congratulate Danny on his win, waiting for him to finish his team's victory speech before approaching. What? They gave him a microphone? This is like Sunday League football, isn't it? Danny, you did it! Good job! Peggy jumped into his arms as soon as he turned around. Thanks, Peggy. Congratulations. Thank you all for coming. It means a lot to me. You're welcome, I think. Of course, it's the least we could do. So, we going out for a celebratory drink or something? No, that's alright. I've still got some work to do back at the hospital. Been neglecting my studies a bit. Because you've been playing football. Let's go and drink! Really? That's not like you at all. Come on, a little drink wouldn't hurt. No, I'm fine. He said it firmly, and although he wasn't being rude, his humorless attitude killed the celebratory atmosphere. Well, okay, that's fine then. I bet we've all got work to do anyway. So are we walking back together? He shook his head. I have a few other things to do on the pitch, sorry. Is this where his perfectionist thing is like he just has no social life to speak of because he just has too many things going on? Is that his fault? He pushes people away. Sorrow. Ah, it's fine. Well, good game. I guess I'll head home then. It was very nice seeing you. Danny nodded, and Peggy, Ashley, and I headed for the hostel. We got to the edge of the park when I patted my pocket. Something was missing. Oh no, my phone. Don't tell me you left it back there. Want us to come with you to get it? No, it's fine. It'll only be a moment. I dashed back to the field and searched the bleachers where we had been sitting, but found nothing. Yeah, funny that. My panic was rising when I saw Danny waving at me from down the field, something glinting in his hand. My phone! Hey, he's perfect. I ran over to him and he cheerfully dangled it from his hand. You should keep a better grip on your possessions, I'll get bigger, otherwise someone might rob you blind. I took my phone back from him and blinked at the pictures of him clearly visible on the screen. Wait, did you bypass my lock? I told you need to improve your security. It was a little weird, but I didn't want to tell him off for it. He did give me my phone back. Is this where he's just a crook? By night he is a burglar. Anyway, congratulations on winning the game. I know I didn't say it earlier. You definitely deserved it. You're a great team captain. You're great at everything. I really admire you. His face darkened and he shook his head. Don't say that. Why not? He held up a hand and shook his head. I don't want to talk about it, but please don't act like I'm a great person. I'm not. I don't deserve it, so don't say it. Alright? Right. Now, aren't the other two waiting on you? Oh yeah, I guess I'll talk to you later then. Cheers. He is definitely a convict. He has to be. There's no way he's not. I left the field too wrapped up in what just happened to hurry much. It's about time. Had trouble finding it? Yeah, but Danny found it for me. How sweet of him. Anyway, let's get back. Ashley says she's going to make some flapjacks to celebrate. Flapjacks? I haven't had those since I was like 6. I nodded, not sure whether I should tell her that Danny might not appreciate the celebration. Most people were humble just for show, but something about the way Danny said what he did made me think he sincerely, earnestly believed that there was something wrong with him. But what made him feel that way about himself? What was wrong? He has to be a convict. There is no way. I refuse to believe otherwise. I just changed out of my work uniform and sat down at my desk to write a letter to my mother when my door slammed open and Peggy entered walking like a zombie. Oh, fuck off. Peggy, is something wrong? She looked at me, tears filling her eyes. Oh, Woggy Piggy. This world is full of heartless assholes who only think about themselves. Uh-oh, you figured it out? She shot me a glare and I chuckled. Okay, but what really happened? She cast her eyes at the floor and started drawing circles with her foot. My petition. I'm guessing you didn't manage to reach 5,000 signatures. She gave a heavy sniff, confirming my thoughts. Have a cuddle of fake appreciation. Come here. I lifted my arms in what I hoped was a comforting way, and Peggy collapsed into me, clinging onto my shirt like a frightened kitten. I worked so hard. I know you did. No one else would have worked as hard as you did. That's a lie. It's okay, don't worry. This is a minor setback in the grand scheme of things. Exactly, because petitions generally don't actually get anything done. I know you'll pull through in no time and find another small way to help save the Earth. We don't have recycling here at the hostel after all. You could badger James about that. Yeah, good luck. She sniffed and I stroked her hair. We stood for a few more minutes in silence. Hang on, minutes or moments? Minutes! Jesus Christ, we're just cuddling for like 2 minutes in silence. Ugh. Do you want to sit down or something? She nodded onto my shoulder and then Zombie walked over to my bed. She fell into it like a lump of clay. I know I can't give up now, but I'm so frustrated. Nobody cares, but they should. If they cared a little bit more, the world could be so much better. But they don't want to feel bad, so they don't. There's a literal holocaust going down in North Korea. But does anyone care? No, they're all just worried about their little gardens while people are suffering. And I can't even blame them, is the sad part. I nodded, and Peggy yawned. It's just not fair, and if I could... She fell asleep. That is one hell of a warrior. Peggy? I glanced at her. She was fast asleep, mouth open in my pillow. Now that I was looking at her, she had heavy bags under her eyes and her hair looked more frazzled than usual. When was the last time she slept? Probably a long time ago. In light of that, I let her have a nap in my bed. At least she didn't snore much. Oh, that's beautiful night. Look at this. Oh, look, guys, it's day. Oh, look, guys, it's night. Oh, man, that's shocking. It's literally still light outside. This is blue. It's like the shadows are still in exactly the same place. Oh, dear. It wasn't until late that night that Peggy opened her eyes again. Well, where am I? What on earth is this music? You fell asleep in my room mid-sentence, I might add. Seriously, what time is it? Oh my god, 9 already? I have work to do, I'm way off schedule. Peggy, how much stuff are you doing? Not that much. I mean, I'm a chemistry major and I like to study a little biology in my time, so there's a bit of homework from that. And then my part-time job, my volleyball team in the Greens Club, and my mates have a band on weekends. You're doing all of that? How? By having no social life to speak of. She shrugged. You have got to look after yourself. If you stretch yourself so thin, one of these days you are going to snap. If you say so. I do. Are you eating well? Well, I'm not just living off crisps and lager. I take vitamins. Sounds like you're living off crisps and lager. Peggy, promise me you'll eat some vegetables before you go to sleep and drink some water. Doggy Piggy, promise me. Fine, I promise. I know you care about the world, but you have to care about you too. Make sure you get some sleep and try not to stress out. If you get stressed out, come talk to me again. I'll hug you until you feel better. Peggy's face coloured and she hopped off my bed. Right, well, thanks for the help. I'm gonna go now. Cheers! And she scuttled out of my room. Whoops, did I just come onto her? No, but I think she took it the wrong way. And did she just turn me down? I really wasn't sure. She was tired and only meant to be friendly, mostly. It was easy to care about her. She was enthusiastic like a little terrier. I wanted to see her succeed so I could cheer for her. She wasn't flawlessly polished and sophisticated like I'd been afraid all the English were. Being around her made me feel more relaxed, mostly. Anyway, I should get back to work. Yeah, you should get back to work. Also, it's been a month and we've achieved absolutely bugger all so far. Someone cook something lovely. Well, free food again.